Awkward.
Okay, we're live. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hold on, I'm still hiding and eating.
Okay, well, we're live.
Oh God. Should I leave a link to the awards manual in the chat?
Yeah.
Let's see if they don't block the link. After the webinar, I think we should put the starting time of when we actually talk.
Oh my God. My board's saying hi to me and I can hear them.
That's so funny.
Oh, I can hear them.
Your board is so cute.
Oh my God. Can you hear them?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, so should we wait till like 7 or do you guys just want to go?
No, let's wait for more people to.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're so popular.
Does that work? No. Yeah, the link's not
My
working.
God. No, I think it's just our committee plus Fountain Valley. That's actually so funny.
That might be very true.
Hi, everyone. Dude, this is like webinarception.
Yeah. I need to mute this.
I need this link to work, please. Did that work?
I don't see anything yet. Hey, there's 15 people.
Oh yeah, it works. Yes, it works. Okay. Yeah, guys, I successfully posted the link.
Congrats.
In the chat room.
There's 16. Should we begin? Friends?
Hello? Yeah, sure.
Okay. Hey everyone, welcome to your Section 2 Awards webinar presented by the Awards and Recognition Committee. So if you didn't know already, my name is Peter Nguyen and I'm serving as your 2017 to 2018 CNHQ's District Awards and Recognition Chair. And I'm currently a senior at Hercules High School in J Division.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Clara Lanton. I'm serving as your 2017-2018 Sapphire Lieutenant Governor. I am a senior at El Capitan High School.
Hey everyone, my name is Aaron Ramirez, and I'm your 2017-2018 Ruby Lieutenant Governor. I'm a junior at Ridgeview High School.
Hi guys, I'm Victor Huynh. I am from Jet Division. I'm the bulletin editor for the division, and I go to La Quinta High School.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Dorothy and I'm the president from Fountain Valley Kiwans from Jet Division.
Hi, my name is Serena Jang. I'm from J Division Hercules High School, and I am currently the vice president.
Okay, so just as the previous times, please save all your questions until the end of the webinar so we can answer them all at once. We'll also have a Google form at the end to talk about your experience with this webinar and answer any other questions that we may have not gotten to. So if we don't have the questions and the answers for you right now, no worries. We'll get them to you as soon as possible, and we'll give you the link to this questionnaire at the end of the webinar.
And if you haven't, please go follow the CNHQN's official awards page where we do frequent updates with divisional recognition, announcements, as well as any important information that you may need to know.
After the webinar is over, we will post all reviewed questions and answers to the page for all of you to use for future reference. Also, if you haven't yet, please check out the 2017-2018 awards manual at tinyurl.com/awards manual 1718.
Okay, so usually these webinars end earlier than anticipated, but since section 2 is such a long and bulky section, this will probably last till 8:30, including questions. So I hope that's not any problems for you guys. I'm sure you guys have plenty of responsibilities to take care of. And as you guys know, the CNHQ's District Convention will be held at Woodland Hills from April 6th, 2018 to April 8th, 2018, and will usually include beginning sessions where the section awards are introduced.
And feel free to follow along while looking into the awards manual if need be. All Section 2 awards are to be submitted via email to awardsubmission2018@gmail.com. So go over the Section 2 award, please. And the first award should be the All-Star Award on page let's see. Sorry.
It's okay, it's fine.
It should be on. Okay, sorry. Page 21. My bad.
You're good.
All right. So let's go ahead and get started with the All-Star Award. First and foremost, the All-Star Award is only available to members with 4 years of experience. This award recognizes a member who exemplifies good citizenship and service. It's important to note that the applicant must not be an officer or hold a position in the club. In addition, they must not be an applicant of the Sandy Ninninger Award or the Member of the Year Award. This type of award can be found in the upper right-hand corner of the manual page. Club awards, officer awards, and divisional awards fall under the same umbrella of being specific to our district, while international awards have special circumstances to them.
Okay, secondly, there's a minimum requirement of 2 recommendation letters. One needs to come from an adult advisor and their respective school president, club president. A statement of nomination must be included and be no more than 500 words with 1-inch margins, 12-point font, Times New Roman.
Yeah, and addition to this, the title must be the first line with the applicant's name, school, and school underneath.
All right, and no more than 4 sheets can be included as supplements and should be attached to the report.
Finally, forms must be submitted along with your email, otherwise you may be subject to disqualification. Any decisions made by me and or the judging panel is final. And we covered everything for this award, but for future reference, you can always look on page 22 to 23 on the Awards and Contest Manual.
All right, so the second award is the Distinguished Club Award. The Distinguished Club Award shall provide recognition to individual clubs for their overall performance. Firstly, a major requirement is that entries will use the official annual achievement report attached with the award as well as the club achievement form from the Distinguished Club section. Points will be awarded based on the indicated criteria, which can be referenced in the annual achievement report.
The qualities and achievements of the club will help determine which clubs shall be recognized for the Distinguished Club Award. Disqualification from the Club Achievement Awards program will always disqualify you from the Distinguished Club Award program. The former is part of the international award category, while the latter is a part of the club category. So make sure to check your awards thoroughly before submitting. Key Club International will provide suitable recognition to each district, and the decision of the judges are final.
All right, so the third award we'd like to introduce would be the Distinguished Officer Awards. Generally, you will be required to have 2 letters of recommendation and a statement of nomination no more than 500 words.
Now the Faculty Advisor Hall of Fame. Please remember that any faculty advisor accepted into the Hall of Fame will not qualify again for this award. Like previous awards, the statement of nomination cannot go over 500 words. Also, please remember to submit small files. You can do this by compressing your submissions.
Okay, so the next award is the Kiwanis Hall of Fame. And so every club in good standing is allowed to nominate an advisor, either a faculty advisor or a Kiwanis advisor. And so one advisor may be given the award if no candidate is found, and no nominee shall be eligible to be accepted into the Hall of Fame a second time. And so what this means is if they were nominated, if they're in the Hall of Fame from the past, they're not eligible to be nominated again. And then the Kiwanis Advisor Hall of Fame Award also requires e-signatures, so make sure to ask your respective people for that.
So, along with your Sandy Nininger Award and your All-Star Award, the CNH Kiwanis Member of the Year Award winner cannot be an officer or hold a position in a club. In addition, you cannot be a member or recognized as a district member of the month. And as many others as previously listed before, you need e-signatures just to verify all of the criteria and all of your submission materials. And they must come from a faculty advisor, regional advisor, respective club secretary, president, or lieutenant governor. 2 recommendation letters are required, with one from one adult advisor and another from a respective school club president. And lastly, the award must be submitted as a PDF.
Okay, so the next award is Kiwanis Key Club Week. And so the award highlights activities done throughout the week of November 7th to November 11th. And if your club didn't do it during this month or during this week, then that's fine. You're still eligible to apply as long as you did dedicate a week for Kiwanis Key Club Week. And so these days include Monday, show your K in every way. Tuesday, kudos to the key players. Wednesday, dare to care. And so all of that is listed in the awards manual. And then be sure to include any photos, flyers, or other supplements that you may have for each day of the week.
So the next award is the Governor's Project, which is Make-A-Wish, and it's working with CNH Kiwanis as an opportunity of granting a wish to children with life-threatening conditions. With a project goal of $20,000, this award highlights the top 3 projects your Kiwanis Club has done, along with the member participation pertaining to raising funds for the charity. There must be a personal statement of no more than 300 words about the importance of the Governor's Project, and the file must be submitted as a PDF.
Okay, so for the Major Emphasis Award, it highlights a single hands-on service or fundraising effort in support of Live to Learn. And there are 6 main sections of the awards that you can check out on the awards manual. But essentially, you're going to be highlighting what you needed for the project, the plan, the implementation, and then as well as a final result of what you were able to yield as a result of your program. And so on top of this, there's also a section dedicated to the club's overall participation, not just highlighting one specific event. So this is any Live to Learn event that you did throughout the year. And so this would include any projects implemented to address major emphasis, and make sure to include anything you did on Live to Learn Day, which is coming up. And with the award submission, you will also have to turn in the major emphasis involvement report cover sheet, which is also included in the section.
And the award for minor emphasis, the pediatric trauma program, focuses on fighting pediatric trauma through raising funds and by increasing awareness. Please do not forget to submit a completed certification page and also answer each section separately and labeled by each section. Be sure to add the top 5 projects your club has done along with the total members involved. Again, please do not forget to submit this in a PDF format.
So usually the certification page is included within every section of the award, and that is usually something that you will want to submit, otherwise you'll be subject to disqualification. So the next award is the Most Improved Club. You must be in good standing with the CNH Kiwanis District and Key Club International. The files must be submitted as a PDF and no more than 10 megabytes. This award is comprised of 6 sections: Club Growth, 30 points, Methods of Increasing Membership, 20 points, Club Achievement, 20 points, K-Family, 10 points, Evaluation Report, 15 points, and supplementary material, 5 points.
And the next award would be the Most Improved Division. Any entries must complete all sections and documents explaining why the division deserves this award. There's a total of 6 sections comprising of the division's growth, which is 30 points, methods of increasing membership, 20 points, division achievement, 20 points, K-family relations, 10 points, and the evaluation report, evaluation report, 15 points, and the supplementary materials, 5 points. Don't forget to answer each section as a separate page and make sure it's titled. It must be submitted as a PDF.
Okay, moving on to the next award, we have Partners in Service. So like the other awards, please don't forget to attach your certification form, and that can be found on every award in the awards manual. So the activities described must cover clubs' participation with the official partners of Key Club International, and you can find those partners on the specific award. And they must fall between the 2017 and 2018 term. Make sure to include every section of the award on different pages. The sections should be labeled. And again, PDF format, preferably 10 megabytes or less.
Next up, the Sandy Nittinger Medal. First and foremost, you have to be in the graduating class of 2018 and a dues paid member, meaning you have to be a senior at your respective school. The recipient cannot be a CNH Kiwan's Member of the Year applicant and cannot be an officer, and you are additionally required to have at least 10 hours throughout the 17 and 18 term. The application must be in this exact order: a completed criteria sheet with the necessary information and signatures, 1 letter of recommendation, and a statement of nomination.
All right, so next up is the Service Award. And not to be confused with a single service award, this award goes to CNH Kiwan's Club with the best service initiative. So the top 10 service events a club chooses must be within the 2017 to 2018 term. And the club also needs to complete the necessary sections and documents.
Now the Sid Smith Award. To enter, you must write an essay in 1,000 words or less describing your innovative and successful service project. In the essay, make sure to explain thoroughly your service project and how it made an impact on your community. Along with the essay, you may attach 2 supplementary materials. If it is in good standing with the CNH Kiwan's District and Key Club International. Make sure to attach the completed certification form to your award submission. Each page of the essay must include, in the upper left-hand corner, the school name, and in the upper right-hand corner, signatures of the president and faculty advisor. Make sure to fill out every section on separate sheets of paper and labeled by section.
Okay, so moving on to the Single Fundraiser Award. The Single Fundraiser Award honors clubs for creative or successful fundraisers, and the funds must either be raised for the club treasury, for an organization, or a combination of the both. And remember that fundraisers sponsored by a school or another K-family organization will not be considered for this particular award. We also have the Single Service Award. So for the Single Service Award, a qualifying single service project organized and produced by the CNH Kiwan's Club includes hands-on service projects as well as fundraising efforts. And so the project must be repeated in order to achieve the same service goal. All entries must use the single service report form found on the page following in the manual, and should be submitted to the district for competition. And be sure to complete all categories listed in order to achieve the full 100 points.
And one of the biggest parts of Decon includes the talent show. So talent show submissions, all auditioning must submit a form with the member's name, club, and division. It can take on any form as long as it's in good taste, meaning so that it's appropriate. 6 to 8 will be selected to appear at the Decon talent show. Remember that each CNH Kiwan's Club may participate in no more than 1 act entered into the International Talent Contest.
Now, remember that the Section 2 awards are due on February 11th at 11:59 p.m. So while you're having tons of fun, remember that your awards are due. Any late submissions will not be tolerated and will not be considered for judging. As long as you guys have everything we've listed, you guys will be fine.
Okay, so we went through all of Section 2 pretty quickly. So if you guys have any questions, be sure to send them in the chat right now. We'll just be waiting till 7:20-ish to see if you guys have any questions, and if not, we'll be moving on to our Q&A section. Hi for all of you people coming in. Dorothy, are your fans still here?
Yes, they're probably listening right now.
Hey, can one of you guys link the awards manual in the chat, please?
Yeah, it's already linked.
Oh, cool.
For those of you who just came, we're accepting questions right now about any of the Section 2 awards. Or if you have questions about other awards, those are welcome too.
Hope you guys are thinking of questions because I know 2 days before the deadline, everyone's going to be asking.
Peter, do you just want to go over these bullet points at the end?
Okay, so a question that I had personally received was, is the Thirst Project an initiative, even though it wasn't originally listed in the Partners in Service award? And yes, the Thirst Project is counted as an initiative for this year. So if you wanted to put your award towards that, the Thirst Project, then that is completely okay. If you're doing lots of stuff that has to do with water and Nickelodeon, go ahead.
All right, we have some questions in. Kayla asks, can you explain how we're supposed to format the distinguished awards?
Okay, so normally your distinguished awards in the awards manual, it depends on per position that you're applying for, but normally there should be a format in there to tell you what to do. Normally you start with your cover page, your nomination form, your letters of recommendation, checklist, proof of attendance, agenda, growth, and club achievements, or other supplemental materials pertaining to your actual role in the club, communication, and obviously you have your miscellaneous sections, which usually have a word limit that is usually 300 or usually 4 pages. Thanks for answering that question, Victor. Appreciate it.
We have another question from Jeanette. What if we don't have any member that's been in the club for 4 years? And I'm assuming this is for
Oh, yeah,
member of the year? Member of the year, right?
Yeah. So if you don't have a member that hasn't been in the club for 4 years, then I'm very sorry, but you're not eligible for that award. So sorry. So sorry. But yeah, any other questions before we start moving forward? Okay. So another frequent question is, can I nominate 2 officers for an award? And yes, since stated from the beginning webinars, we are allowing you guys to submit more than one officer for a specific position. Like for secretary, for example, you have a secretarial team. So they can either apply as two of them in one go, or you can apply separately as separate entries because you guys do fulfill different duties. For example, my school, well, in my division, there's a school that has a vice president of administration and a vice president of service. And because they fulfill different duties, they are eligible to submit as two different awards. But if they decide to, they can ultimately send in as one award.
I have a question that presidents might be confused about as well. To Peter, for distinguished, what is it, appointed board member, is that, can you submit only one, or is that also multiple?
That is multiple, because appointed board, as you understand, is under like a bracket. So like your district appointed board, there are other people that do fulfill different duties. So there is no limitation on the amount that you are to submit for appointed board. That goes for distinguished divisional officer as well. You guys are unlimited because, as you know, per every division, there's a bunch of subsets of duties that each person will fulfill.
Okay. We're still accepting questions, guys.
Okay, everyone. Just my apologies, but on the table of contents, for all the awards that are down in section 2, it says it's the 11th, but on the table of contents it says it's the 10th. So I just want to clarify, it's the 11th. So yeah, sorry about that, but yeah, another day. Thanks, everyone. But
okay, we have another question from Sarah. For awards, we're only allowed to use photos for supplements, right?
No, so that would depend on the award that you are applying for. Because as you know, there are bunches of different awards that indicate that you can submit supplements. So it can be photos, it can be screenshots, it can be like even resumes-ish, or like reports or stuff like that is included in your supplemental section. But again,
Yeah,
please
and go ahead.
please double check with your specific award, because usually all of your guidelines are there, so it will tell you whether or not certain supplements are okay or not.
Yes, and I've also seen my club do awards, and some of our supplements might be, like, let's say a member is being super helpful online on Messenger. You can add a screenshot of that. Yeah, you can go into the internet for your supplements.
Okay.
Okay. We have more questions from Jenna. Will the Decon Talent Show video submissions still be due February 11th?
So in that specific portion, so Larry and I have been talking, and we are actually thinking of extending the deadline for that award specifically. So most likely the due date for that will probably fall around maybe March 3rd-ish. But again, nothing has been clarified. So just keep working on your talent show video as if it were to be due on that date, but we will be releasing material about your talent show later. Better safe than sorry, so Good luck.
Okay, Kayla says Fountain Valley Kewins appointed board sucks. Can we submit 0 appointed board awards?
Oh my goodness.
Is it too late to impeach our president?
I thought they were fans. Now they're turning into
funny if you got impeached the day before decon. Oh my
gosh!
that
Don't give them ideas.
Okay, well, we're gonna continue. So, most awards, not only distinguished awards, but most awards must be less than 10 megabytes. So please check that, because if you're even a speck over, you're subject to disqualification because you didn't follow the guidelines. So page limits also vary from award to award. So the secretaries have 50 pages, whereas the treasurers only have 25, and that's something you should definitely keep your eye out for. And reminder that divisional officers may not apply for member awards anymore, and this includes All-Star, Standing Ninja, and CNH Kewins Member of the Year, and other awards of the sort. Wait, look, Victor, your secretary team is...
I know, I saw.
So cute. So as mentioned before, for regional advisor and faculty advisor awards, you can only choose to nominate one advisor. Victor, was it your school that has 2?
Yes, our school has 2 secretaries. It's in the chess secretary team.
No, I mean advisor.
Oh yes, we have 2 faculty advisors.
Yeah, so that was just a situation that La Quinta had, but unfortunately, you can only nominate one person, so please keep that in mind. Continuing on, for the All-Star Award in specific, if your recommendation letters in the rubric is included in the supplemental file section, it says that you have 4 pages, but those 2 recommendation letters will take up 2 of the pages because they're included in the same bracket as the rubric. So keep that in mind as well. Just keep your eyes out for that one. And yeah, as mentioned before, information about the talent show is to be released soon. So I hope you guys are all applying for those. But I'm really excited to see all of your submissions, because Section 1 submissions were super good. But please make sure to submit on the deadline. Please, on the dot. Make sure everything is tip-top shape so you don't get disqualified. And please also keep in mind that for Section 1 awards, actually what I did was I looked over each submission and okayed it to make sure that schools wouldn't get disqualified, but there were certain disqualifications. So I won't be able to do that this time just because the large amount of influx for award submissions coming in, especially since Section 2 is the majority of the awards and the majority of decon in general. So it's going to be very hard for me to check over each one. So please just make sure that everything is okay and fine. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me or any one of our awards committee members, because they're great. But yeah, that's all I have to say. Do you guys have any tips for these guys, since you guys submitted awards before? Soon to be impeached president. Come on.
Definitely don't put it off to the last minute. And for any presidents out there that are watching this, I definitely recommend you guys have weekly updates. So I know for Fountain Valley, I have I've already designated awards to certain board members, and I require that they update me on their awards every week, just so I know where they are and how far we need to work. And then also planning work days so that your board can get together and actually like sit down and work on it, and not leaving it to themselves, like the individual to do it, because I feel like if you're in a group, you're more motivated to do it together. And so yeah, just planning it out definitely helps, because we all know there's always that last minute mistake that we always have to like fix. And so yeah, just keep a heads up for that.
Yeah, and that's coming from a distinguished treasurer, guys. So yeah, She's a good one. Anyone else? Victor, do you have advice?
I think the work days are very helpful, especially if you sort of don't know what you're doing because I remember my first time doing awards, I didn't know what I was doing, and it was really nice to have people help me. So uh, even if you can't plan a day with your board, maybe plan a day with like your president or anyone else to help you work out your awards.
Serena, you have experience, right? You go ahead.
Kind of what Dorothy said, don't procrastinate because it does take a few, like several steps to complete the whole thing. And yeah, I think that's most important. But I think that's mainly it for now. Oh, and feel free to always contact all of us because we are here to help you guys, if anything. So if you do have any questions or you don't know how to fill something out, always feel free to message every one of us because we're always here.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure your board members are always there for you as well. You know, they might complain sometimes, but you know they're always there for you. They probably have experience in their award section because otherwise, you know, how would they be here on the board? So or in my committee rather. But yeah, definitely reach out to people if you can. And I've personally seen people who've procrastinated on their awards and it's actually like death. So please, please, I know I'm not actually, like me, myself personally, I'm not submitting awards, but I know how it feels. So definitely don't procrastinate because you'll end up being one of those people in class not doing your work and trying to finish your awards last minute. So definitely get those in. Kayla. So Kayla in the chat, she said, "Is your man's watching Dorothy?"
Okay. One word of advice that I have. Moving on. Also, okay, so for e-signatures, one of the things like the awards ask for are e-signatures, and so that can be usually it's from a club president, secretary, or lieutenant governor, and so you have to make sure to ask those people if you're allowed to use their e-signature, because I know a lot of people tend to forget, and you could be disqualified if you don't ask for their permission. So
Agree, bump. Also, another very important thing to note is plagiarism. Plagiarism is a big no-no. If any of the committee members or I or any of district board in general or Kiwanis advisors, all of these people, if we find out that you have been plagiarizing, then you will be immediately disqualified. So
Okay,
please keep that in mind.
question from Vincent. Hi there. Just to confirm, Section 2 awards are due on February 11th at midnight and not February 10th.
Yes.
Yes.
So you have an extra day. Sorry, the
Yes.
table of contents was my bad.
It is
Yes,
due February 11th at 11:59 p.m.
Yeah, I was just trolling, but no, but yeah, 11th. So you have like an extra day. So good luck with those. Hey, Clara, Aaron, did you guys submit awards in your years?
No.
Not.
No, but they're always there to help you too because they're under me, so they're my slaves, so they probably know as much as I do. So feel free to ask them as well. But yeah, awards are very, very stressful, definitely. Probably a little bit kind of like college apps, but maybe somewhere around that kind of ballpark. But yeah, don't procrastinate. It's really, really hard to complete if you procrastinate. But if you manage to get it, then you're going to get recognition at Decon, and that's going to be great. Oh, and another thing too, the Late Owl Award, I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's on the CNHQN's page, so the official page, and it's basically from January 1st to February 1st, we are offering the Late Owl Award. It's the converse of the Early Bird Award, where if you have 15 members, additional members that you recruit, I'm looking at you, Fountain Valley and La Quinta, if you guys manage, but everyone in general, if you guys manage to recruit 15 members, additional members, that our dear district treasurer Justin Lee can keep track of, then you are eligible for late owl recognition, which was something that was offered a few years back. I don't know if any of you guys remember, but it was offered at previous decons, except with the exception of last year, I think. But yeah, that is going to be implemented this year because we really need to reach our 2,500 member goal. So please, please, please keep recruiting and ask your board to recruit as well. Okay. Yeah. Any other comments?
The awards manual link does not seem to be working in the chat, so if you guys need the awards manual, just message us on Facebook.
We'll post it on the awards page as well after the webinar.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay. Wait, can I ask our dear committee members well, Dorothy submitted Distinguished Treasure, but have you guys submitted any other awards as well in your previous years?
Dorothy, you want to go first?
Last year I did single fundraiser as well as Sid Smith Award. Do we go into that?
Yeah, go ahead. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, so for Distinguished Treasure, it's a little different from the other distinguished awards in the sense that it's more highlighting the fundraisers that you've achieved over the years, and it includes a lot of description of what you did during the fundraiser and where the money went to. And so there's also a supplement part for each for the award, but I feel like the other distinguished awards are definitely more personal. You can make it your own, whereas the treasure is kind of just like, hey, what fundraisers did you do? And then so for the Sid Smith Award, that's basically one event that you did, an unselfish event that you did for the community. And so I know Found Valley, we packaged over 200 bags of school supplies and we donated it to an impoverished community. And so that's what I did for Sid Smith.
Okay. So yeah. I applied for Partners in Service with a few other board members last year. And it went pretty well. We got our pages together. And I think in the end, we did not submit it because we didn't think, I think we had other awards to focus on. But I was also qualified and I ended up getting Distinguished Appointed Board Officer. But I myself did not do the award. The way it works at my school is the executive board fills it out for the appointed board member, and then it's supposed to be a surprise. So yeah, it really depends on how your school wants to do it and your dynamic.
That's so cute. Oh my gosh. So it's just like a big pocket of surprise.
Yeah. Well, it got spoiled, but it's okay.
Okay. Well, yeah. Any other questions that you guys might have? We're gonna try to end this at 8, so let's prolong everyone's suffering on here for a little bit more.
Do you guys want to share awards horror stories?
I don't have it.
I feel like you have one, Dorothy.
Oh yeah,
well, like, I remember the first year I did awards, I knew nothing about awards, and I just so what I was told, actually I'm not gonna go into this, but basically I just like kept resubmitting, and then like I was told not to resubmit, but it was just a mess. But I remember last year we were all at our president's house, just like staying. I think we were there for like 10 to 12 hours just working on awards, and we're just like scrambling at the last minute because we couldn't compress the file, and it was just like a big mess, but we got everything in. So don't do everything last minute. And not saying we did, but even when you do plan, there's always like something that goes wrong, so just try to plan ahead.
But in regards to the whole in-class awards, stuff thing. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Like if you procrastinate a lot, you'll end up doing it whenever possible. And not saying that that's a bad thing, but it kind of is, just because I'm pretty sure everyone has a lot of responsibilities to deal with. And also for people who duo award, like if you're working with other people to compile one big award, I know it's very hard to get them to, if they're not particularly motivated, it might be very hard to get them to work. But just keep in mind that, at the end of the day, it's all worth it. And if you're having trouble getting like a certain person to work, I don't know, like on board or something, just tell your president, or contact any other members on your board, and then kind of have them talk to them and have them help you out with the whole situation. But not speaking from personal experience or anything, but just saying. Oh, and also, guys, last year, am I correct in saying that there was a limit to how much you could resubmit your awards?
It was never announced, but I was always told that it was once.
Okay, so just gonna make that clear right now. Doesn't really matter how much you resubmit to me. Just please indicate like resubmission 1, 2, 3 in your subject title. I don't really mind how much you resubmit. Obviously, if you resubmit at like 12:01, I'm not gonna accept that one. I'm gonna take the finest one before 11:59. So
yeah, just try not to take advantage of that too much, because you don't want to explode Peter's inbox either.
Yeah, I appreciate that. But since we have like 15 minutes left, maybe I'll talk about how the awards are judged, because I know some people do have questions about that, and maybe they think some stuff is rigged. But so basically how the awards are judged, mostly with the exception of section 3, which is judged at decon, you usually have your section 1 and 2 judged beforehand, which is called prejudging. So judges usually include the Kwanians rather, and Circle K students that are usually not affiliated with Kiwins. So no worries on any biases or stuff like that. We do make sure that all awards are graded fairly and impartially. So yeah. In fact, we have a lot of signups, so that should be fun.
And also to clarify, the committee that you're watching right now, we don't judge awards, so it's like completely.
Yeah, for sure. I know some people think that the awards and recognition committee judges awards, but the truth of the matter is, I don't let them see the submissions. Even I don't, because it's personal to me, Miss Bayer, or like my awards advisor, and all the judges. So yeah, no worries. But they do have some influence. Like if we see someone breaking guidelines, or breaking rules, like basic rules, like don't plagiarize, or like don't steal copyrighted stuff, stuff like that. If we see that, then that's a big no-no, and you will get disqualified. So yeah, any other tips or stories or questions?
No, I just want to say, like, awards, I mean, I guess they are a big part of decon, but they don't mean everything. And so if you don't get an award, don't feel discouraged about it, because your work that you do in Kiwins is not defined by a trophy, a plaque, or like anything materialistic. Like, what you've gone through, and you were the person that went out into the community and helped someone out. And so that should be like something of its own, not something materialistic like a trophy. And so if you don't get an award, don't be discouraged, because your work impacted the community in a different way. So yeah.
Agree. She's so positive, guys. Oh my gosh. Now I love Dorothy. But yeah, definitely. Because I know at decons, like people tend to be very, very sad if they don't, if they try really hard and then they just start sobbing and crying. But use those tears for service, people. Honestly, with how much work and effort you guys put into these awards, like seeing all the submissions actually personally and not from the outside, like you guys should really be proud of the work that you submit. So when you think that your award is okay and pitch perfect and what you envisioned it to be, then submit it. And if you don't get it, then it's their loss. It's nothing to be ashamed of. Any other last words of encouragement, tips, guys? Or I'll roast you guys on the spot.
We can mention how Section 3, since we won't have a webinar for Section 3 because there's only a few awards for that, we'll be making like a small infographic for what you guys need to know.
Because Section 3 is like dead on decon, it's very hard to organize that kind of thing. So yeah, we can talk about Section 3 as well. So as I mentioned before, Section 3 is graded like on the spot. So yeah, it's right there, and judges are usually put in decon beforehand, talked about by convention chair Larry Lamb and I. So first award would be Fall Rally attendance. So Fall Rally attendance was award used to motivate people to go to Fall Rally and raise money for the pediatric trauma program, of course. And it may seem like it's already pre-given because of the attendance stick, but please keep in mind that that's not all that it is. There are other factors, so just be sure not to get discouraged and apply. So the next award would be the impromptu essay contest. So I personally was going to either apply for or do this award or the oratorical contest, and I decided on doing the oratorical contest. But this is a pretty good essay contest as well. So basically the premise of it is you're led into a room during decon and you're given an on-spot prompt that you're supposed to write. So yeah, and then it's graded, and then you're presented it at decon. And I really encourage you guys to do the impromptu essay or oratorical award, because those two, usually there's not much competition. So if you not like unskilled, but like just because people aren't motivated to go. So I really encourage you guys to do that one because it's pretty great and pretty nice and fulfilling. So the next one that people ask about is so last year it was called the Kicks Award, but I know for a fact that most people do not know what Kicks is. Like if you walk up to them and tell them, I won the Kicks Award, they'll be like, question mark, question mark, question mark. So we decided to label it Keeping in Human Spirit Award just to distinguish that. And it's basically spirit, woohoo. But yeah, all the guidelines are there. So, no, obviously no like noise enhancing objects, giant megaphones, or like if you bring like an amp and like a giant instrument, like no bueno. But basically you talk about what you want, like your wishes to participate in the contest, a general description, and you submit it. And it must be presented at the judging table on April 6th before 9 p.m. And obviously all clubs must, follow the rules. So guys, do you guys know what it's called when like girls and guys are in the same room? I forgot the term.
Purpling?
It's called purpling.
Yes, purpling. Yeah, no bueno, none of that. Or like, obviously, no drugs, no weapons, no stuff like that. But yeah, that's pretty obvious. So after that, membership and motivation. So particularly last year, we did have an issue with this award just because it was very hard for people to achieve that kind of membership increase. I believe last year it was 30%. So that is quite difficult for clubs that are huge. So, or just in general, but like we've lowered it to 15%. So hopefully that helps a bit. But if not, then next year, the my successor will probably lower it down or remove it. But basically, 15 increase in membership of last year's paid dues. So it's just calculations, and it has to be verified by treasurers and faculty advisors and your president. And next, my favorite oratorical contest. Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like honestly, I really encourage you guys to apply for that one because you're given the prompt beforehand, and you get to write a script and stuff. And you don't even have to memorize it. Although I highly encourage you to memorize it because it makes you sound more presentable. But you don't have to. You can have the speech in your head, and you can just talk and just write amazing things. And yeah. So lastly, you have the year in review, which are basically the scrapbooks, traditional and non-traditional, and you can only apply for one. But the difference is the non-traditional is a composition of media with pictures, souvenirs, newspaper clippings, and all that stuff. And there are criteria that you have to meet. So please be sure to look into that. And it is an international award. So you have to fill in the forms following, just as any other international award. And the traditional scrapbook is, kind of self-explanatory. It's like a traditional scrapbook, but yeah, likewise, you have to fill your forms out. And yeah, I've done a lot of talking, but yeah, sorry for tiring you guys out, but.
All right, we have 6 minutes left to answer any of your questions. Please feel free to ask.
Oh, actually, let's go around and ask. Well, it's in exception to the LTG since they're applying for RFLs, but for you three, what are you guys applying for, eh?
Like myself personally?
Yeah, like yourself personally. Let's go Dorothy, Victor, Serena.
Let me get out my spreadsheet. Okay, so I am personally applying for Distinguished Club President. And then I'm working with my Vice President, Calvin, on the All-Star Award. And me and him are also going to be working on the Distinguished Appointed Board Officer, so kind of like Victor's, like LQ's board, where we personally choose the appointed board officer. And then Distinguished Club, Faculty Advisor Hall of Fame, working with Calvin on Keywin's Member of the Year. I'll be working on Governor's Project. Wow. And Most Improved Club.
Ooh.
All right, that's a lot compared to me. I'm just applying for Distinguished Divisional Officer. And if I have time, I might help out my home club with some of their awards.
For me, I am personally applying for Distinguished Club Vice President. I think I'm going to work with my board members in applying for Improved Club. Let's see. I think we might be applying for the minor emphasis one, which is pediatric trauma program. And I think we are also going to apply for Most Improved Club.
Okay, so let's end off with how have your experiences with those been so far? Or even if you've started working on them.
I've started a little, like I have a little outline, but not much is done. I should start.
That's the same with me too.
I started having updates after Thanksgiving break. So
my gosh.
Wow.
I'm actually at a work day right now, so this is Kale's house. Yeah.
Shout out to Kale.
Shout out to Kayla, even though they're like my entire board is like messing with me right now, but yeah, it's fine.
They're so cute though. But okay, let's see. Anyways, we're gonna reserve the last 3 minutes for questions, and if that's it, then we'll be signing off at 8. So yeah, like honestly, I joke around about like don't ask me questions, but like honestly, do like I act like I'm annoyed, but I really do enjoy my job.
That's what we're here for.
Yeah. So go ahead.
No, shout out to Peter because he's been doing a phenomenal job this year, and so
I love you. Thank you. Thanks, guys. I love you all. You guys have been doing great as well. And I'm sure, Winky, you guys will get distinguished. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Don't attack me.
People are gonna think that this is like corruption.
Don't attack me. I'm just kidding. But, yeah, honestly, they have been doing a great job as well. So if you walk by them at school or if you see them at Decon, say, "Hey, I saw you at the webinar. You're great." But yeah.
Okay. We have 2 more minutes.
Yeah,
Any last minute questions? You guys can ask about us. It doesn't have to be about awards.
Yeah, you can ask personal questions as well. Not too personal, but like personal.
do you guys want to talk about your decon experience until we get any questions?
We don't have time.
You have 1 minute. My decon experience. It was pretty good. I mean, like, I was low-key kind of antisocial because at Governor's Ball, I kind of went to hide in my room because I was just like, I can't dance. This is so awkward. And Serena was just there jamming out. And I was just like, no, she was legit whipping and getting on the floor. And I was just like, so I couldn't. And then, like,
okay.
Peter, you weren't even there.
We have a question from Sarah.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know the way?
But I got dragged back into the game room. But yeah, I'm not excited for Governor's Ball. Don't buy me. Anyway,
if you guys see Peter at Decon, please drag him to the Governor's Ball. He needs to break out of his
Stop.
shell.
No.
He is still a shy freshman.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, well, if that's it, Sarah asked you to sleep with her at Decon. But
okay, and that marks the end of our.
Well, but basically, yeah. Thanks everyone. So remember, February 11th, all your awards are due. Get started on those because you have exactly a month left. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Bye.
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 Bye, guys.